I'm just making sure everything's good to go. Kaylee is not possessed by Avery.
I just found that button.
Look, if Avery somehow is able to possess two different people at once, then we might have an issue.
Ooh, there's an idea for what to spend these PowerPoints on.
Oh,
Lol.
God.
I mean, you can make it a possession of up to like a certain power level.
Puppet an entire nation. We are Avery.
And then we rename him Legion.
Yes.
Oh, make your possession ability contagious, so anybody who touches
God,
you also becomes
no.
possessed.
And then the world becomes Avery.
And then just possess that rat swarm, which would normally work, but since Warp's around, they'll just die.
And
I mean,
then,
he'll then possess the gravity bubble?
and then Avery will just rename himself to Groot, and all will be well.
Leveling up my powers for the next power level will take 8 power points, so I have to save those up before I can spend anything.
I should probably check that.
Yep, I need 7.5 myself. Well, 8, essentially, because I'm going to spend the extra point
You
anyway.
cannot spend half a point.
Yeah, I know. 8.5
you-
because of the way skills work. Like, if I was to somehow be able to... So obviously I'm just going to have an extra skill point left over. I want to put in something.
You can't have a half rank.
No.
Each point you put into skills increases the skill by 1 rank. So you can use 1 point to increase 2 skills by a point each.
Yeah, you could theoretically have a 1 point be worth like 10 skills, but you're never spending
But
less
I
than
wanted
a
to
point.
have a 7.5 perception.
Then
Get some
you'll need to
glasses.
spend a quarter character point on it.
Let's
Or
just
just equivalent.
move on from here.
No,
You
I
can
like
try.
this.
Recording is running. What's up today?
Well, let's see. Last time you very thoroughly destroyed a warehouse in trying to kill a... I don't know if clown is the best word?
Jester?
Maniac?
Lester the Jester.
The plan's simple.
I'd call him a
We
stab
killed a
mime, but he-
madman.
I was going to call him a stabby mime, but he didn't shut up, so...
Oh yeah, no. The Babbler is definitely not a mime.
Nah, he's not that kind of creepy. He's pretty creepy, but he's a different kind of creepy. Anyway, we dragged this covert agent he wanted here.
Yes. And when last we broke off, Robert was debating what he's going to do about all the police that are now swarming that warehouse, that he intended for you to look around and see perhaps why they were in there.
I mean, I can go back and look.
Avery, currently dealing with someone else's headache, will simply offer, well, she left no stone unturned, holding out a hand to Warp.
Presumably, if it wasn't blasted into oblivion, stomped on, or destroyed in some other manner, I can return and search the area.
Well, you won't be doing that now, not with police swarming the area.
Unless the police suddenly have the ability to see through multiple spectrums of light, they won't notice me.
And are you so certain they won't notice anything when you perhaps have to throw boxes out of the way?
They'll think it's ghosts.
I have nothing to do with this. Look,
Do
we
we
walked
care
in
what
there.
they would think?
We walked in there looking for someone who had probably gone to ground or gone to... I don't know, what was the other likely idea again, guys? We didn't think it was kidnapped.
No. Gone to ground or was actually being hunted.
Right. And instead, we found a psycho with a fresh catch who was more difficult to get a hold on than then we wouldn't have thought, even if we had known he was there. I'm
He
gonna go sit down.
squirms.
You do that. While you're sitting down, could you perhaps try and figure out what the thing wanted?
To kill?
I'm going to lean against the wall and actually no, I'm going to look around for something to maybe splint this lady's broken ankle with.
Well, you head into the medical area there.
Ooh, you're stealing from the generator. I don't think anything could go wrong.
Currently, all the other bandages and stuff are stored on a bed because they haven't brought in the cabinet yet.
I'm a be dealing with that and pouring through my surface thoughts, which you can exposit half when the opportunity arises.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, presumably he will know simply by being a part of their...
I'm not going to presume I know anything about how that works.
Nor I, but he seems to, when controlling, know things about them.
Yeah, I don't think Avery has let slip anything about surface thoughts yet. He's just done things and not explained them at all.
Yeah, I
Pretty
don't
much
think
that,
we
but I'm
even
guessing
know
you-
what Avery is. Like,
Well,
Most he's
whenever he
done
had
to
a
show his
body-
information is pull stuff out of pockets and go, oh, so it must be this.
Yep.
I thought he... I swear
No,
I could
he
have
has
had a
not talked
conversation.
about what he
No.
does besides the fact that he's not actually that person.
I mean, most of us haven't shared shit.
Fair enough, alright then.
Note to self: don't let that be something we share. It
Too late.
And,
Oh,
and,
God.
and some of the stuff I've shared is actually contradictory and not true to my backstory.
Well, unless you have something trying in this exact moment. I have a house I need to go cleanse of pests, most likely.
Oh, I plan on sending you back very quickly. But before you do, and presumably before Avery gets finished over there fixing himself up, or... I'm not even going to contemplate whether it's a him or a her right now.
Itself will do.
Feeling herself up? What?
Did the thing say anything of any interest at all?
I think it just told some story about how it went to the store and bought some meat.
It's a very interesting story.
Doesn't
It
sound
did-
like an interesting story.
You weren't there. It did mention when it tried to run it, its crowd was waiting for it, or of some manner.
Crowd?
Audience, crowd, someone was calling it, or it had an appointment. Lol. That's all I can recall it saying of any interest that wasn't just insane babblings and more insane babblings. That was pretty much it.
I don't suppose you saw anything then, Miss Murphy?
Blood?
Blood?
Oh, that.
Shut up.
No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just... I've not seen that before.
Do I want to know, actually?
Are you squeamish?
Oh, he doesn't give a rat's ass about this story.
Ha!
I'm going to presume this is a joke that I don't get and don't care to get.
And that's where she stands up, wanders off, and you hear some vomiting.
Oh, for goodness sake. It was just a bunch of shredded rat guts. I think I've eaten worse.
She's a young girl.
To be definitive with young, I believe I am probably younger.
I was a young girl once. A mishap with the belt of gender change.
Every time I think I understand you or I'm coming close to grounding myself, you open your mouth. I'm going to just accept you have things that I will never know. Or want to know. But we are getting distracted. She encountered... Some rats got in the way of things. I don't know how or why. They hit her, and apparently she can shred things by touching them, or things get too close to her. I don't know. It exploded into gore everywhere, blood gets so on. It was rats, though, but apparently it's bothered her. Or that's in bloodier steaks, but... Speaking of steak...
You two think. I'm sure we missed something. Was he asking her questions when you arrived?
He's chewing on her ear.
Does that preclude him asking questions?
His mouth was full.
Somehow I doubt he has that well of table manners.
No given, but it's hard to communicate with mouth full.
Maybe he just wanted to make sure she heard what he was whispering.
That is darkly hilarious.
Hey, has anybody checked the news?
I think so. Hold on. Do you have a remote for this thing?
Roberts waves a hand and the television up there goes on. They're still talking at the moment about the trash that ended up in the park and not actually the exploded warehouse.
I don't know if any of the trash is particularly odd looking. I mean...
When he ran away from us, he said he was going to go talk to his loyal followers or someone who was talking about him. His ears were burning,
I
I think he
mentioned
said.
that. Robert stands a fair distance away and tries to wave to Miss Murphy.
Like, I'll clean it up. Just leave me alone.
Don't worry about cleaning it up. We have things to deal with that. We have beds in there if you want one.
Okay. Thanks.
Which on that note means you'll probably have to wait a bit before investigating what he was actually doing there.
Are you worried the police will find it?
I'm guessing he was looking for some corn.
The
I
police...
doubt that. I think it's far more
He
likely
settled
that
for what he could get.
I think it's far more likely that this person, this agent, was simply chased by this clown dancing thing into there, cornered, and etc. I doubt there's anything of interest there.
The police are very carefully suggested not to look into anything involving a Prejudicium agent. At the moment, they assume she's KIA.
And...
The police are not going to find anything. In fact, they may actively destroy anything they find.
And as I stated, why do we... unless there's some reason, information you have, that you think there is a good reason for the agent to be there, I presume they were simply looking for us and getting too close.
No. I presume at this point that they were looking for Babbler. And Babbler wanted one of them for a specific reason, otherwise he'd just kill them like he usually does.
It just seems sadistic torture at the time. He was probably getting around to the killing.
Do you really want to assume anything about that thing?
What option do I have?
Finding out what it wanted?
It is an insane, giggling clown man. I do not think it has the ability to want anything other than rampant urges that it delves into.
Is that a character? Avery!
Yes.
While you're busy with that and, perusing surface thoughts, Babbler was asking her where her friends are. She didn't answer because she's a good little soldier. That's what he was asking.
Alrighty. As far as Babbler was talking. He was just asking where this lady's friends were. I don't know if he meant the Prejudicium. I don't know if he meant rest of a squad or something. I'll keep mulling over that.
At the time, I did not smell any other humans within a radius that mattered, so likely to have been part of a squad.
Well, not there then.
Point.
Well, if
Would
they're
you like
looking
me to go back and look?
in a minute, if we need to, if they're looking for him, he could very well be looking for them back.
Good. Let our problems kill one another.
Congratulations, Miss Murphy. You have not horribly mangled that splint in trying to assist in tying it.
Damn.
You did not jab it straight through Avery's leg.
That would have been really funny.
It's technically not his leg.
You feel free to try again if you really want to, but I'm feeling Avery will take your hands away at some point.
Hey, all I've got is a d20 plus 0 for a basic heal check, so...
Is the news still prattling on about the garbage launched halfway across the city?
They're starting to change topic to some big traffic pileup.
Just a normal crash?
Yep.
Mm.
I mean, the warehouse has been written off as a gasoline explosion, and, behind the scenes, the news corporation is being told, don't talk about this.
So, that is that, then. I can go at any time. Like the others, I can be subtle. I prefer not to be, but...
Alright, give me one moment, then. I'm going to check on what the active situation is with police there.
Very well. Quicker we do this, the quicker I can go home and renovate for pests. Have a steak or 3.
Roberts wanders off with a walkie-talkie to his ear.
See whether or not I still have a job. They better not make me pay for that.
Send somebody to get me if you need me. I'm going home. And I fly behind the TV and into the place where I put my thing.
He lives behind the TV. Of course he does.
That is where I put my thing before we started putting stuff in here.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like I comprehend the magic of it, so...
Robert blinks, but keeps talking on the walkie-talkie.
Any updates?
Robert just holds up a finger.
No, not him. I'm talking to... Sorry, I had moved. I'm talking to Kaylee and the rest.
You just wander in on a young girl and the ghost currently inhabiting a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, reactions to that?
Hey, we knock or something.
On...
To be fair, there is literally nothing for it to walk on. It's all, partition sheets.
And what are these, by the way? Are these actually walls, or...?
No, they're more of this, just I'm not gonna...
Yeah, they're more sheet.
I'm just not gonna have that
okay.
entire icon going all the way around, because that would be ugly.
Aw.
Yep.
Well, then say something, or...
I did.
Not you, him.
I mean...
Ah, okay, yes, go ahead.
Shall I go back out and ask?
No, it's... I could be changing or something, okay?
So?
It would not end well for you or anyone if you did that.
Right, when you're startled, you tend to. My mistake.
Yeah.
It looks...
Here, look, this getup is on awful tight. I'm gonna need somebody's help to make sure I don't miss any pockets in this getup.
I'll do it. Does she remember any of this?
Nothing that's come up yet, but
Well, in any case, if she remembers him doing it, no, I'll do it.
so previously I had searched surface just for any weapons that that damn it, my memory keeps on trying to call him Giggler.
Nope.
Babbler.
Babbler, there we go.
Babble,
Like a
babble, babble, babble.
To look for any weapons that Babbler hadn't taken off of her, and got a firm weld on that. So time to search the rest of the pockets. Also, what is the agent wearing under the skin suit, or not necessarily skin suit, the tactical
What are
suit?
you wearing?
That too.
Underneath the tactical suit is just like black sweatpants and a black shirt, presumably for simplicity's sake.
Nothing else?
Yes, and then under that is your standard underwear.
Okay.
We're not going into
And
that.
under that,
Does she have skin?
Yes, she has skin.
We need to know every layer.
does she have musculature?
Which
I
organs
just-
of
you want-
hers are whole?
Do you want to peel back the skin to find out? I don't think Avery would appreciate that.
Well, it's only after you put the lotion on it.
Lol.
Avery at least has to know what she is wearing, and knowing that there is some light clothing underneath the tactical suit, he's going to remove it completely.
In the process of pulling up the tactical suit, it changes color.
Well, what?
It is now blue. Just like a perfect matte blue across the entire surface of it. I will note that she still has half of her helmet on.
Oh, I thought she was helmetless and just wearing the balaclava.
Actually, you did clarify you took off the balaclava, so yeah, the helmet would have been taken off as well. It's over to the side. It is half of a faceplate left.
Okay.
It's also blue.
Well, that's a new one. All right. I will continue searching its pockets, and here, I'll hand the top half of the tactical suit over to Kaylee for her to search.
Yeah, she's also looking at it curiously and idly thinking of whether it's her size or not.
I mean,
Color changing clothes, man.
the woman's a bit bigger. But I mean, she could, like, cut part of it, but she doesn't know what it's made of.
Yeah, and it might stop working.
Kaylee
Avery.
is both young and underfed.
Avery,
Yo,
you recall part of what this suit is. There are buttons on the inside of that helmet. They're normally supposed to be done via... I'm not sure how best to call it. Where you look at them, and it activates whatever you're looking at. But they can be done manually when you don't actually have the helmet on.
Avery
There-
stops suddenly in the middle of his search, puts the jacket back down, and starts studying the helmet, looking for these mentioned buttons.
You find one with your finger. You happen to press it. The suit now looks like the exterior of a random woman, complete with skin and clothing on top of that skin. In this case, a red blouse.
Ah, drops it.
I start feeling around in that vicinity for other controls.
You find another one that makes it look like a black man.
Okay, this is kind of creepy.
And third time's the charm. There?
The lowest button in the helmet makes it go back to its previous state, and it is no longer blue.
So it's tactical suit SWAT-like looking thing.
Yes.
So, that means they can just, what, walk around as anyone?
Yeah, that there's some Scanner Darkly shit. I'm just gonna. We should. Oh, hold on. This stuff's all still working. Hey, Rob.
What?
If there happens to be any hot transmitters in here, do you have them taken care of?
Roberts comes marching over. Just right through the curtain. Oh, I didn't realize you found one of these. They look fairly standard when not active. No, we should be clear in here, but...
Wait, what? That means they can just track her wherever?
Well, no, I have no idea if they can, but property this hot, I wouldn't doubt it does.
Yeah, but wouldn't they, come help her?
You mean with Babbler?
Uh-huh.
Maybe they tried.
There's no one else there.
You mean there was no evidence of anyone else there that you saw when he was chewing on a human ear?
Ew.
Like a piece of gum.
Mr. Smith. The police have cleared out. The prejudicium have not.
Good. Something to punch.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why not?
Do you remember the last time you were punching prejudicium?
Yes. As I recall, I was fine.
Hold on, what eyes do you have on that scene?
The eyes of someone staring at the building from the outside. We have 2 field agents besides you 4. Or 3, now that Mr. Ripken has gone off into somewhere behind the television.
I like to think he lives in Oz.
Sounds like just another bead curtain to me. Props out to anyone who does get that one.
Nope.
Nope.
It'd take like 10 minutes of backstory. Don't worry, some other time. Because do the folks casing that scene? Do they have those the strippy little hand scanners that you point them at Mr. Smith here and they go beep?
I haven't seen any of the reconnaissance agents on site, no.
I'm even less danger than before.
Mostly just a cleanup crew.
Because I've got some terrible ideas. Well, they're looking for their agent. What if they found her?
How good is your acting?
On the one hand...
Better than a sleepwalker's.
On the one hand, they can't tell without one of those sensing devices, but on the other, you recall when we first met?
Yes.
He's speaking directly to Avery.
You called it. Any chance you got intel on how you pulled that trick?
Oh, it's standard protocol for our Prejudicium members to be trained to automatically shoot any known traitors on site. You didn't.
Oh, that is delicious.
So you're saying that if I run into any other traitors and don't shoot them, I'd be outed?
That, and I don't know what other things they're trained to do on site automatically.
So
for all I know, whenever you see a superior
in,
officer, you're supposed to do a handstand.
That puts the secret Illuminati handshake to a whole new meaning, doesn't it?
You're welcome to try, but I don't believe it will go well for you.
Yeah, the fact that they were even vaguely on the idea of me tells me that they probably have a way to deal with me.
I wouldn't know, but presumably.
These guys are stressful. They make me second guess all my worst ideas.
I've only got a link into their active comms when they're in combat because it's less secure otherwise, but so far there hasn't been any specific mention of you besides the one project of theirs that had you... How did you get to that area? That street that blew up.
Oh, I wasn't anywhere near there. I was minding my business far side of the city. Got pulled there as though someone strapped a wild horse to my ankle.
Effective and not subtle. Sounds like them.
You should ask. You should ask Joseph. He looked pretty confused to be in the area too.
I would if he were here. Alright, Mrs. Smith, if you want to go and look around with all the agents there, you're free to do so.
I'm right behind the TV. I told people to come get me if you needed me.
He has no idea how to come get you behind the TV.
Is it supposed to be flush against the wall?
Yes. I'm
I
presuming...
must have actually walked through the TV to get to it then.
Mm-hmm.
Should just be able to reach your hand into it. I just stuck my head out. Is anything happening?
Many things.
Should we just
put
go?
I did put that in an inconvenient place, just as. And I put it over here.
Is there any kind of visible effect when you do that?
Only when I set it up.
So, what?
So
Big
you
flash
saw
of light?
Yeah, you when I'm flavoring it, you see a door to the house appear, and then it becomes invisible. So it looks like a old-timey house door. It stays there for about 10 seconds.
I wish I could do that.
That definitely deserves a bead curtain. It's the right era too.
I'm just going to say magic and move on.
Agreed. So you want us to investigate whatever it is they're investigating before they find it because you think it'll be worth our time.
I don't know if you'll find anything worth our time, but I do know that if they find anything we might want, they're going to either take it or destroy it.
So shall I go there and step on them or not?
Don't step on them. Just grab anything you think might be helpful.
Here, pass me back that jacket, will ya?
Why do we need at least Avery, who would recognize things of use? Perhaps
Oh, okay.
Joseph? To me, everything they'd pick up would be useless.
If I
You're
wear
the one here so far who can claim not to be noticed.
In many ways, yes.
if I put on the tack suit without the broken helmet and key it for the generic looking street clothes woman, does my mismatched head match the body?
Close enough. The skin's slightly off, but people could take it as an odd tan line.
Well, this has got a small chance of working as a disguise.
We're fairly lucky you found one of those things, actually. Or that Babbler did, I suppose.
I will try to bring her back intact.
So, we need Mr. Smith and, I suppose, Avery to go and look. It would also be nice if we could actually find her friends for ourselves. I'd like to know where the Prejudicium are set up around us.
I don't know why we're being so unsubtle about things. If you know where their base is, you just drop me on and the problem will solve itself.
I don't know where their base is.
Well, then find one and interrogate one till you do.
Roberts points to Avery.
Roundabout way of interrogation.
Please don't interrogate me. I don't know enough to tell you anything good.
Not you. You're in. If you can dig around in its skull and find out where their base are, this could all be solved very quickly.
You assume far too much about how my relationship works.
Yeah, you have not explained that, so I pawn my assumptions, but if you can't, then give us the woman back, and then we can interrogate properly.
If I think of anything useful, I'll let you know.
Fine. We'll do this the difficult way.
I'm going to send all four of you, glances at Miss Murphy to see if there's any objection.
Why do you think I should be there?
Just to keep an eye on things from the outside. Make sure if anything explodes, we know who's doing it.
You've already said they can track me. Is this even a good idea?
They can track you on a broad scale when they're prepared for it. They have no reason to think you're anywhere there still. If they think you were even there to begin with.
After the warehouse, they may change their minds on that.
To be frank, they may think Babbler can do that. I don't know if he can't. Would you like to wager that he doesn't use explosives?
Fine.
I would
All right.
suggest everyone else hang back at least a small distance, as none of you can turn. Well, invisible, I guess, is the best term for it.
Anonymity is the next best thing.
When do victory points reset?
Alright, send us a bit of distance, obviously, from the actual warehouse would be nice.
Look up.
Look up.
This is the weirdest way to travel. Cloud gazing.
What is this, the Hunger Games?
If you prefer, I could go the flashbang method.
I prefer looking up.
Couldn't we just close our eyes?
No, something about darkness is a problem with it.
Fine.
Miss Murphy, Mr. Ripkin, I'm going to need you to watching the building from the outside. Just... if you see a tank suddenly rolling, for example, yell.
Or hear me roar. Either one, really.
Preferably that won't be happening.
You say that, but...
I assume Joseph looks up.
I look up.
Poof!
Oh no, I've been made all poofy.
Yes, you're now wearing a poofy dress.
That's a lot of containment agents I'm sure we're not supposed to be able to see.
No, you can see them. There's been holes blown in the building. You can see them.
Well, we can see at least this area. Where are we? Have we been ported to, by the way?
You are about... it looks like 5 warehouses down. You can see the wrecked one. There's not even a police cordon up anymore, but there's Prejudicium agents just hanging around on the corners and stuff. These ones look mostly like standard police. You just recognize the difference in the helmets.
Try to go unnoticed, and at that, gone. And because I'm, Sanic, I'm just gonna go where I want.
You are not Sanic. Please do not claim to ever be Sanic.
I am very fast, though.
No, you're Danky Kang.
Can we start playing Sanic whenever he's moving around?
That would entertain me.
Do you mean like actual Sonic, or do you want the really...
No, Sonic.
Really... Oh, God.
No. Okay, refocusing. I am going to turn to myself, camoed. And I'm going to... Well, he considers it a leisurely stroll that's around speed rank 3, so you tell me.
You could get there fairly quickly, but you might want to slow down if you don't want your feet to make some noise.
Yeah, he'll go just the actual walking pace once he's there.
The pitter-patter of Mach 1 feet. No, wait, Mach 0.4, I think we established.
How big is a sphere with a volume of 32 million cubic feet?
Take the cube root of it, add 30%, I think.
Math, brain,
Something like 200 feet is the... Oh wait, I think that's the radius. Yeah, 4/3 pi r cubed. Yeah, radius 200-ish feet.
So about 400 feet across.
Okay. Is this representative of where I actually am right now?
No, if
You
you were
said
actually representative, you'd be about... Oh, that's not Joseph, that's Kaylee. You'd be about down here-ish.
500, 600 feet off from the near wall.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to move in. I'm going to move into about 300 feet off.
How are you doing that? Are you going to just walk over to the building? Are you going to go up to a rooftop?
I'll teleport.
To the roof? To the base of the building?
To a roof within there, yeah.
Okay, are you currently invisible?
Nope.
Does your teleport make any sort of noise or visible effect?
If it doesn't have subtle, then by default it is not.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't have subtle, so it makes some sort of effect.
Does it play Jungle Fever?
Let me just roll something then. Okay, Joseph. You're on a rooftop. You can see directly across from you on the other rooftop between you and the actual warehouse. There is a Prejudicium soldier with a very long gun.
Oh no.
He's not currently looking your direction.
Okay, good. I'm going to enact my plan then, because I'm going to cover the entire. I'm going to cover the entire area with a 400-foot bubble.
Of what?
Of force. Using my Autoluke's force wall.
You're making just a giant force bubble around this area.
Yep, so nobody can get in or out. I'm totally doing a Megazord trick.
I assume this is visible.
No, it has subtle.
Okay. I'm going to remind you before you do this, there are cars driving through the area.
I will hit your bubble.
That's fine. It's also... Oh, actually, I didn't have time to make it selective. Oh. That's their fault.
Well, there goes something immediately.
Actually, I can shape... I actually can... It doesn't actually have to be a bubble, so I can shape it to go around the building.
Okay. So
Well,
you're going to focus it on
the...
the...
lock the door.
It's going to be roughly bubble-shaped, but...
But it's going to be focused on the warehouse.
Let me...
I should point out something. The area the area powers or perks of those powers, shaped is much more expensive than mere area. Let's see here. Yeah, area shapeable.
It's a create effect. It doesn't have stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah, no. It's you make something the size. You make something with a volume of up to its rank.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
not
still...
an area shapeable.
oh, pardon me. Yeah, it's create, not an area effect. Carry on.
This is actually a solid wall of force.
Okay, carry on.
How solid? Doesn't it let anything through?
Because I forgot to take selective. No, it does not. Which I would
So-
assume means air as well.
Mm-hmm. Are you telling anyone that you're doing this?
Is the goal to murder everyone?
It's a big bubble. They're
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
gonna
going to kill him
breathe.
instantly. If he leaves him in there a few hours, it might be an issue.
We're talking days at this size.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
going
don't mean they're
notice
going to die. I
immediately.
mean, in a few hours, they might start having trouble breathing, at which point they'll know something's wrong.
Never mind if one of them needs to step outside for a coffee or a piss, and suddenly they all know they're trapped in this weird fucking building.
Uh-huh.
So
It's a good thing I'm already inside.
All
I don't see
right.
how this helps us at all in any way, shape, or form. But all right.
There's now a force bubble around the building.
That I don't notice because it's
I
something.
I can't undraw this.
Yeah, this is no help. Thanks for making life harder. All right.
Not that anyone notices because it's subtle.
Yeah, I'm just walking inside a building I don't know I'm stuck in. Alrighty.
Miss Murphy, what are you going to do to watch out?
Well, should I be just as helpful and try to blow up the building?
Sure, why not at this point?
They might interact oddly with the force bubble.
No, she's going to basically just kind of hang out on the other side of the street, look as inconspicuous as she can.
One of the agents who's standing at a corner eyes you, but doesn't do anything.
Pervert.
I don't think it was meant in that way.
It's a joke. Move on.
Avery, your leg hurts.
Yep. So, we arrived. Mr. Smith and Mr. Ripken disappeared pretty much instantaneously.
Yep. One
you
teleports, one goes invisible.
Yep.
Stop! I think we can remember there's a force bubble. We don't actually need a drawing.
With those positionings, that looks accidental. Yeah. I was going to simply begin approaching on foot after trying to scrounge up a suitable disguise appropriate to the area. You said this is the abandoned warehouse district, or was that just Brad?
It's warehouses. Some of them are abandoned, most are used.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Is there
an
much
industrial
foot
area.
traffic on the street?
not a whole lot, but there are plenty of looky-loos right now because, hey, a thing blew up.
About how much of a looky-loo crowd would you say?
It's like 10 or 15 people.
Alright, so it shouldn't look too out of place if I just walk down the street to join the crowd of looky-loos. So
Yes.
that's my plan.
All right.
I
While
forgot
you're
to mention
walking-
I put myself in. I'm on the inside of this bubble.
You're on the inside of the bubble?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're walking, a stray memory comes up in that this agent has actually patrolled this street before, in much the way you are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
You do know that she came walking from something farther down in the direction you are currently heading. So if there is a base, it's probably in that direction somewhere.
In that case, well, it'll probably take me a minute just to get to and past the crowd of looky-loos, so let me know when I reach that point.
Yes. Mr. Smith,
Also, for reference on oxygen consumption, someone laying down at rest, say in a coffin, it'd be about 5 hours before the oxygen is depleted. So, a bubble this big, yeah, even if there's 100 people in here, it'd be like at least a week before they get.
But what's the oxygen consumption of a rampaging T-Rex?
None. I don't breathe.
Are you fucking shitting me?
I mean, I can breathe if I want to, I guess.
You can't see the ion stone he's using for one of his teeth?
Does that mean
It's a
that could be a
light
weapon for you to block someone in with a force bubble, and he goes in and just breathes as heavily as he can until they die?
Yeah, the Rex just goes in there and hyperventilates.
No, I don't breathe specifically because they thought of things like, what if he's underwater or ejected into space?
Yeah, remind me when I'm doing my level up powers to add selective to this.
And
Sure.
So, what's up with me?
You are in the building. There are agents of different varieties wandering around.
I'm visible. I don't care. I just start wandering around, see if there's anything that catches my eye. Just casual. Apparently, when you erase that giant blob, all the doors got erased.
Eh?
The blue icons are representing doors. Yeah, they're gone.
Oh, those, yeah.
I remember where they are for the most part.
Yeah,
The actual doors are still there.
Honestly, after we were there, are there any doors left?
There's a couple.
Actually, this one should not be. I don't know why that's still there.
Like I said, just keep my eyes open, wandering around.
Yeah, there's
Don't really
doors
care.
still.
Please make me a stealth check.
I'm not bothering.
Yes, you are. Please make me a stealth check.
There's doors there. They're just in this rubble.
I'm invisible. If they hear me, I don't care.
Oh dear.
Are you making no active effort to be quiet?
He would make a small effort, so fair enough. I will roll. I don't think he's particularly good at it.
They're all sorting through rubble and such, by the way.
Let's see. Stealth. Key to agility. Okie dokie. I get that. Plus, being invisible to all senses except tactile. So, touching me, you'll notice, but...
One of the agents does wander forward, looking around.
Don't care. Keep walking.
This one's examining a corner full of blood.
Not sure how that got there.
Yeah, jeez, I have no idea.
Hope he's wearing gloves.
Well, they're entirely covered, so...
If they weren't in armor, they'd be in hazmat suits.
Yeah, Skullhat, back up.
Okay. Where do you want me?
I will note that you are walking on a box there that another person is standing on.
Yeah. I'll do it so fast he can't react in time. Like, I don't know.
Well, make me a stealth check. It's not about whether you do it quickly, it's pressure going on so that someone else is standing on. Yeah. Not to mention if you go faster, you're just going to put your foot down on the box harder.
Just like Danky Kang.
That containment agent swings around and nearly hits you right in the head with the butt of his gun.
Well, nearly is dearly.
After a moment, he stands up straighter, and you can hear that he's talking under the helmet, but you can't tell what he's saying, because it's just very, very muffled.
Well, I would rather not risk him punching me full in the face. Not because it would hurt, but because he'd call ghosts or something.
When you enter this room, just a few moments later, both agents suddenly perk up a bit from their... Well, if you could see their faces, you'd assume they were bored. And start looking around. Their rifles are more ready now.
So they're on edge. Interesting.
Joseph, Miss Murphy, and Avery. Outside, every single Prejudicium agent surrounding the place turns as one towards the building.
Maybe it's lunch break.
I was hoping someone would try to leave.
I ask the random trucker I'm standing by in the crowd, what do you think's got them in a snit?
The trucker sniffs the air for a minute. Smells something foul. Maybe they're gonna blow it up again. Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph. Someone is about to walk into your wall, trying to get into the building.
Ah,
Are you going to do nothing about this?
that's why I put the wall up. No one's getting in or out.
He's pointing and laughing like a loon.
Actually, I'm not pointing and laughing because I have to concentrate on the wall.
You can hear his helmet go clunk as he walks into the wall. And he brings his gun up and starts waving it around wildly, looking for something to shoot at.
So where is this dude?
This dude... is back here.
God damn it.
Mr. Smith,
Hmm.
every gun in the building has suddenly been raised to a ready position and is sweeping the area.
Well, at this point, clearly, they're on alert enough. They're feel free to shoot an invisible target going speed 6. I don't care anymore. I'm really just going speed 6, like around. Oops, that's a little too far. Like just around to see if there's anything immediately obvious, like big boxes or some crap like that.
Okay, hold on.
This whole room.
Go back here.
Hey, Skull Hat, do you have quickness?
No, so he's not gonna. No, like I said, anything super obvious is the only thing he's gonna notice.
I don't
He's
even
not
think
gonna
you can make perception checks quick enough if you don't have quickness.
Oh, well,
That
then
is
have
a problem. Speed 6 does make it so everything's kind of a blur.
Yeah, you need quickness in order to do anything like that.
Well, he'd have stopped there anyway.
Yeah. There's a bag there. It's a very familiar looking bag.
A douchebag?
Pick up.
No. Remember that bag
No,
that
no, it's
Babbler
not
was
Skull
carrying?
What bag?
Remember that bag that Babbler was carrying and he pulled random crap out of?
Yeah, I remember that.
This one looks a lot like that.
Neat, it's mine now.
Is it ticking?
Mr. Smith, make a perception check.
Fair enough. Let's see.
It's gonna blow up,
Right.
killing all of us, but the city will be safe because of my force wall.
I get that.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Shrug. Over the shoulder, make sure it's secure.
I will note that it will now be a floating bag.
Yeah, that's more or less how that works, yeah.
Oh god.
Avery.
Yes.
Are you going to continue down the street, or are you going to investigate why they're suddenly pointing their guns towards the building and everyone's drawing back towards it?
Even if I wanted to do anything about that, I am not in any position to. I'm going to continue following my nose, and I'll catch up with these guys later.
Miss Murphy, you see Avery going off down the street in a different direction. What do you do? I do
Go get a
enjoy,
pretzel.
by the way, how a routine thing of just go look at the area, don't get caught, just see if there's anything weird going on becomes, oh look, trap the area in a bubble, and now everything's going to start shooting everywhere.
I'm not the one who put a bubble sphere over this thing.
No, but you're the one who ran in and grabbed the thing.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's my
I'm not
job.
dealing with this mess.
It's not my bubble that alerted them.
I'll go
They're gonna
follow
get
the
alerted
other
anyway.
female agent thing.
Miss Murphy is following Avery. Got it.
I just
Washing
put
my
the bubble
hands,
up so they
miss.
couldn't- I just put the bubble up so they couldn't call reinforcements in.
They can have reinforcements. If the bubble was gone, I would just run through a door and be gone.
Mr.
That's the
Smith.
thing.
You don't even know there is a bubble.
Yes, you do not know there's a bubble. What do you do
Exactly,
to get out of
so-
there with the bag?
That's what my plan was, is that as soon as I got the thing, I'd just leave. By leave, I mean just run through the wall. That's going to encounter a problem.
Are you going to attempt to run through a wall then?
Yeah, he's just going to turn here and go wee, and then he's going to hit something that's harder than his usual wall.
You go through the wall, and then you hit another wall. There's no actual wall there, though.
Boing.
It's still in a basic bubble shape. If he's running the
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You can get out this area that's just kind of just a park, but there's no actual loading dock. It's something weird about this place, just like everything else is weird about this warehouse. But there is a wall up here for the moment you try to leave farther.
Well, I guess I'll just walk up to it and tap on the wall with a knuckle in confusion.
Bong, bong.
I swear to goodness, if this is someone else's, tiresome blasted.
Joseph, you can see that Mr. Smith is knocking on your wall.
I'm going to let the wall down.
But will Mr. Smith notice?
Well, he's gonna knock. Like, he's about to punch it, but when he you know,
You punch air.
step forward. Keep
I'm
stepping.
going to put it back up.
Oh? Are you putting it back up then?
Once he's... I can see the bag floating around. Once he's through, I'll put it back up around.
Oh, he's no longer invisible at this point. He's because the bag would give him
Okay.
away anyway.
In that
You
case,
have
yeah.
You've emerged from the edge of the building. There are agents standing there. Looking at you.
Evening. Just casually walking away.
They blink a few times, and then one of them yells out, "Stop!"
And I do the opposite, and woof.
Does he do like
Okay,
the Looney
I
Tunes
mean, I don't know how
wind up
far.
with
Let's
his
see,
feet?
speed 6. How far can I get away in one action?
6 is ridiculous fast.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The thing isn't very fast.
That's true. 6. Let's see.
He is,
I can
however,
get
the best
800
character
feet.
there.
1,800 feet in a single move action.
Yeah, so
So I
you
do
could
that
go get
twice.
on top of the rooftop of another building, like in a like blocks away, and just be up there if you want to.
Yeah, I'm a couple blocks away, up on the top of a building, just like casually watching like the distant building. Like, yeah, that was easy.
This time, after I put the bubble up, so I'm on the outside of it.
You're just gonna leave the bubble up.
I have to concentrate on it.
Okay, Avery.
Is completely unaware any of this is going on behind him.
Yes, you are retracing your steps that are not your steps.
I'm just going to settle into the back seat and let the body take back over, as though everything that had brought her to this point was day in the life, and see what she does.
She continues to walk, looking around, just glancing over buildings as she goes, looking like the average person, just trying to find some way to entertain themselves while walking somewhere.
Also, how far behind me is Kaylee, and how obvious is she in her following?
Oh, she's so good at tailing people, you don't even know.
So you're saying I'm going to trip over your feet in a minute?
Let me see, what is her...
I believe there is an actual role for following people. One second.
Is there a way to make my force fields lethal?
Yeah, look at me. I've done them.
This is true.
Actually, if you want to do that, seriously, just put an area-based damage effect on them with a limiter of only when they walk through it.
Oh, you don't even have to do that. You just you put linked damage on the create effect. I know how to do it. I'm just being a dick.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I need your stealth. Tailing is a part of stealth.
So it is.
Okay. You actually have a decent stealth roll, don't you?
Mm-hmm. It's her second highest roll. She spent some time on the streets.
Yep. You
You
don't
may
want to
want-
get stabbed by Mr. Hoboface.
You may want to roll this lady's perception check, not mine.
Yes. No, I am doing so.
Okay.
She looks back once or twice, but doesn't seem to catch on to Miss Murphy and amongst the random other people who are still in the street. There are more of them as you're getting farther along. After about a block, though, you just turn down a random alleyway. Miss Murphy, will you continue to follow?
Yep, super subtle. Also, she has no reason to think that's not an ally, so yeah.
Mr. Smith. That bag is warm.
I look inside.
Is it a head?
I mean, it might be.
It has to be a very recent head for it to still be warm.
Hey, this guy's done some weird shit.
Yeah, it could be
True.
a magic bag full of heads. I don't know. What's in here?
Speaking of that guy, he grins at you. Then
Wait,
he puts a finger to his lips, gives a box to you, and shuts the bag closed again.
Look at the box. Look at the bag. Look at the box.
Will you look in the bag again?
No,
Please.
I sighed deeply and opened the box.
Please make this a recurring villain just for him. This is too good.
What's in the box?
You open the box, and suddenly everything on the roof around you is on fire.
I open the bag again.
There's a rock.
I take out the rock. Close the bag. Open the bag.
There's another rock.
Take out the rock. Do it again.
There's a rock with a note that says, "How many rocks do you want?"
I scribble. Take a second. Get the pen out before it, burns off, I guess. I pat myself off to get most of the fire off, but at this point it's probably a moot point. Hope the pen still works. Right on it.
Fire.
As many rocks as you can fit. Put the rock with the note in there, close it, and open it again.
The rocks go flying out into your face, and the bag shuts itself.
Yep.
Joseph, you asked a question.
Can I see the building on fire right now?
Yes, you can see a fire on top of a rooftop, like a couple buildings away. Not a couple, like, a ways away, but you can see it.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Teleport to it?
I'm gonna teleport near it, and then I'm going to put a force bubble around the fire.
Why is that your solution to everything all of a sudden?
Mr. Smith, make me a perception roll.
Alrighty.
Because that'll put out the fire you started.
You have no idea. The
In a
roof is
while.
on fire, and you have a bag. Avery, we're going back to you for a minute. Aren't you glad you're not involved in that shit?
Oh, thank God.
No, instead, you're just involved in the shit where you walk halfway down this alleyway, the woman turns to a wall and headbutts it.
Is it once, or what's going on here?
Once, and it's not actually very hard. The wall, that is solid brick right now, slides upwards. There's stairs leading down.
I make a point of muttering under her breath, "You've got hands," and let her continue.
Miss Murphy, will you follow her into the alleyway?
Mm-hmm.
Make me a stealth roll. Okay. You are able to see her start to descend the staircase. Will you follow her into the starting to close wall hole?
Sure, why not?
Make
Nothing
another
bad
stealth
can
check.
happen.
Okay. You continue to roll at least decent.
Worst case scenario, you just turn more ceiling into ground.
That's a great way of putting it. Avery, you can hear a commotion as you go down the stairs. They're pitch black, by the way. The only reason you know where the stairs are is because they're incredibly monotonous stairs.
Okay, I hear a commotion below, above.
Below. You can hear some people yelling, you hear some noises like a shredder going.
Is he fighting a rat or turtles?
Oh,
Mr. Smith,
Mm.
you're on a rooftop. It's on fire. You have a bag and a lot of rocks.
I take one rock and just making sure it's a rock. Chuck it just hard as I can. Just anywhere, don't care where.
You throw it out over to the city, and it hits a wall and bounces back and hits you in the face.
Now, I walk over to the bubble, I guess, and give it a kick. Then shout, "I swear if this is some new containment descent, it's not going to work."
Joseph, you could see Mr. Smith in that building now. He's kicking at your bubble.
I don't really care about that. He can keep kicking it. I'm gonna stop this bubble from burning.
So do you
This
know?
one isn't a huge one. It's just tight over the thing.
Do you know he doesn't need to breathe, or you just
No,
want to
he's-
suffocate him for funsies?
Even if he had to breathe, he wouldn't die by the time the fire went out.
Joseph hasn't seen Mr. Smith give one fuck about one thing in the whole, granted, one day he's known him.
Yeah. Also,
True.
also to the point, he's standing in a fire right now and doesn't seem to care.
True.
That doesn't necessarily mean the smoke inhalation won't fuck with someone.
True,
Speaking
but
of
Well, then
smoke,
he shouldn't
it's
have
starting to-
started a fire. I have to put out.
Speaking of smoke, it's starting to pool at the top of that bubble.
well, time to test the obvious thing. I stomp/punch through whatever else. I go down and to see if the bubble encircles the entire building or not, because I'm just going to go through the building.
Is the fire going out yet?
Fire is starting to go out. Have you made your bubble go down into the building?
Does that mean slicing through the building?
Well, create things go through solid objects that you create them in.
So yes, you will hit an edge to the bubble.
I growl.
Avery!
I found a great way to piss off Mr. Smith. This is gonna be epic.
Jesus.
He's going to break it, and if he finds out you do it, he might break you. He doesn't like being contained. At all.
Avery!
I... I put a bit of hurry in my step, and try to instill in myself a sensation of rushing to help, and then to go back into the back seat to see where my body takes me.
Okay. Miss Murphy, I assume you're just following down the very, 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 very dark stairs.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna try to do.
Make me a stealth check. You just keep rolling better for those, don't you?
I can still roll better.
Alright, you emerge, not shortly afterwards, out of a doorway into what looks like it would normally be a sterilization chamber, but the other door is swung wide open, like they don't seem to care about that anymore. And, well, it looks like fairly standard offices. Like, you half expect to see a cubicle, how the place is decorated. But you see lots of agents in similar outfits to yourself running around, setting things on fire and burning papers and running magnets over computers and such.
Okay. Am I immediately challenged?
No, mostly because you haven't even been noticed yet.
Okay. I take the driver's seat back up and make my way into the room And the first person who notices me at close range, I ask, "What can I do to help?"
The mustached man blinks at you a few times and then scowls. I don't know why you're still in operational dress, but we're scrubbing the mission. Get everything destroyed.
I look for a box of things that look destroyable and means to destroy it.
There's a furnace in the corner, and there are boxes of paperwork everywhere.
I start helping.
Okay. Miss Murphy. You come to the doorway showing...
Great.
A clean room airlock which opens on office space currently in pandemonium.
Yes.
Is anyone reenacting the scene from Office Space with the printer?
I haven't seen the movie, so I can't tell you.
Oh my god, I'm fixing that.
Die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die. Carry on.
So,
I think he can fix his own printer.
if she looks like to the left or to the right, is there anywhere she could duck into?
I mean, there are some other doors in the room if you were able to get in without people noticing you immediately. There's a door to your left and a door to your right immediately on exiting the airlock sterilization room.
Do they have any differences in them?
No.
Well, then she's gonna hang back by the door, wait till there's a gap somewhere nearby, and make a bolt from one or the other, whichever one's not getting looked at.
Pick one.
Fine, left.
You are going left. Please roll me a stealth check.
Ha.
You trip over something, which is not an unusual noise, but someone does start to look. You have a chance to open the door and get inside first, though. Just debating if that would be... Make me an athletics check, actually. Yeah, actually, that'll work just fine. You manage to swing the door open, and someone just sees the swinging door, pays it no mind, and goes back to throwing a box of papers into a furnace.
And that was the end of Agent Papers.
Well, if he was already in a box, I think he might have come to an end already. One more thing before we switch back to Mr. Smith. You find yourself in an armory. There are guns lining the walls.
Oh.
There's nobody in here, but there's guns everywhere.
Fun.
And we'll return to that in a moment. Mr. Smith, you are on a burning rooftop. You've stomped a hole in the roof. There's a bubble around you, and you have a bag from a person who is very silly, malicious, and insane.
I'm gonna do something stupid / smart / I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get inside the bag. Just put the bag on the floor, put my feet in it, see what happens.
When you open the bag and put your feet in it, the bag is suddenly much smaller than it used to be.
Lying shit in an old bag. Get my feet out. Is the fire, like, out?
It's starting to dwindle, yeah.
Once the fire is out, I'm gonna lift the bubble.
I don't know that, though. I don't even know you're doing it. So at that point, shift shoulder, look at wall, attempt break.
I know, I'm just stating my intent for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what is it that takes to break through this? Because I don't know.
It is a DC 25. It has a DC 25 toughness.
Well, alright then. So this is just a... Presumably I don't need to hit it. It's hard
Sorry,
to
it
miss.
has a rank 25 toughness, so you punch it and it resists.
As someone who previously has had a create power, that rank is capped to power series power level.
So 22?
Yeah.
22 then.
You can have
So-
a higher rank create total, but additional ranks only increase your area and your skill. They don't increase toughness.
Alrighty.
In any case, punch the wall.
So that's a 23. So, that's the rank of my damage, so you roll 22 versus that. So unless you roll a 1, it's going to stay.
That's not. Yeah, you don't fail on a 1.
I don't know.
Its toughness is straight up 22.
That is what he adds to the roll, yes.
No, hold up. Yeah, I do have to go look this up again.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
I thought it was treated as a break DC, not a.
It's treated as an
no,
object.
Yeah, that's the bonus to its toughness check to resist the damage.
Yeah.
So what's the rank of your damage effect that you're using to try and break it?
23.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the effect, not the rank, right?
Yes, that is the total effect, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so 15 plus 8, yes, 23. Nat ones aren't failures, so yes, he is just barely able to resist that. If you were using rank 9, then it would be possible.
You punch the wall. It doesn't hurt your hand, but it's annoying.
Actually, I think there's more to this rule here, because I think you can do it as a routine check.
Yeah, he can. There's something about like you can roll to hit it and get like a crit, but don't worry about it for now. For now, you punch the wall and nothing happens.
Okay, well at that point he's gonna start hitting it harder, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, he can. Yeah, if he rolls instead of taking it as a routine check, he gets a +5 to it, meaning he actually could break through it.
All right, well we'll get to that unless other things are happening. Like this is fairly quick. Should I just do that then?
Go ahead and try and punch it. Yeah.
Alrighty.
What is the roll to hit a thing? Just 10, isn't it?
I think so.
It's based on size, and this thing's gargantuan. So.
Don't roll a 1. You're fine. Okay, so if we add 5 onto that, that means what? What was your DC?
The total is 28. Like 15 plus the thing, it's 28.
Okay, so 1 wound on this sort of thing, I believe, is a crack or something? I need to check the rules on that.
Yep, just see damaging objects.
Okay, you've punched it, but there is no visible effect just yet.
If an attacker's intention is to bend, break, or destroy an object, 2 degrees of failure on the toughness check results in a bend or break.
Mm-hmm. But that was only 1 degree of failure.
Yeah, so it's actually a lot harder to destroy objects than I thought it was.
Okay, well at this point,
Well, he chose to make that attack roll, right?
Mhm.
Yep. So bonus +5, 1 additional rank of success. Oh, that's what brought it up to 2. Never mind.
yeah, that's the only reason he was able to do it at all. So now he's
Yep.
realized this form is not going to cut it. So
Carry on.
Okay, Avery. You
Helping.
are taking papers to a furnace.
Yep.
Are you going to
And-
attempt to see any of these papers?
Yes, I am going to. I'm going to do my best to look like I'm helping, but in taking a look at what I'm carrying, and also possibly trying to get some listen in around me. Basically, I don't know if I can get both the perception and insight in the same round, but those are my intentions, to make one of each. I want to see if I can pick up any clues from people around me of what the plan is after they're finished destroying the documents, and or why they're destroying the documents. And if there's any, interesting headlines, then that's all good. Do you have an order which you'd like me to make these in?
Well, do you want to try and look at the papers first, or try to hear people first?
Let's get an idea of what the situation is first.
Okay, then just roll perception. Actually, no, yeah, you can hear them just fine. Yeah, go for insight.
Okay.
Well, that's quite the roll. People are pretty panicked. It seems like the source of it is mainly the fact that, a warehouse not that far away blew up. And they know that one of their own agents recently went missing. So they're assuming that either Babbler, who they're not actually calling him by that, they're saying the clown, has either found where they are, or there is some other force working against them. And considering these are all desk jockeys, and while they know how to fire a gun because it's mandatory, they have no interest in being hunted down by these sorts of people, so they are scrubbing the operation and moving somewhere else.
Right. Bug out Protocol Alpha.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Would you like to look at some of these papers?
As subtly as I can manage, just in case someone, I don't want someone to look over and spot me reading a piece of paper right before I chuck it in. I just like to, sneak a peek at whatever's on top of the box as I'm carrying it to the furnace type thing.
I'd like you to roll a deception and then a perception.
Okay.
You shouldn't put things in your eye, even if you want them to feel full. Let's see. You do get a few good glimpses of some papers. One is utterly mundane. You can't even tell what it is at first. No, not exactly, but it's more of like a log of who's taking what weapon from the armory on certain days. Okay. Which is interesting, but not actually helpful.
Yep.
You catch one that has a whole bunch of acronyms on it. Would you like to memorize any of them?
Yes, please.
Okay. I forget if you have an advantage for that.
I indeed have an eidetic memory.
Good, okay. So that's not a problem. You catch one that talks about a... I'm gonna roll a die really quick here. Where has it gone? Yes, you find what looks like an interdepartmental memo for the Praejudicium, with one of the ends being addressed to one Task Force Cavalry.
So was that cabaret as in place where you dance?
No.
Caverite, as in cheap-ass quartz, okay?
And other things, but yes. We'll see if you get more in a minute. Miss Murphy, you're in an armory.
Yeah.
Do you want a gun? They have plenty.
She doesn't really know how to use a gun?
That does not preclude her wanting one.
You point and shoot.
It's
How hard
actually
could it be?
It's harder than that.
Nah.
I played Call of Duty. It's the same thing.
Is there
Waiting for
anything?
people to beat me up now.
Is there anything else in there besides just guns?
Uh, there are lots of different types of guns. You're pretty sure those are grenade launchers locked up on the far wall. There's some actual grenades to go with them. There's what looks like... If you didn't know better, you'd say it was one of those, like, machines they put in parking lots so that you actually pay for your parking spot.
So they check them out. I'm assuming there's no armor sitting around.
No. There is no armor in the armory.
Is there only one door out?
There is another door. Would you like to open the other door?
Yeah, though she'll pause to listen at it for just a second.
You hear absolutely nothing.
Then she'll be opening it.
You find a closet with ammo.
Great. This has been the least helpful room she could find.
Or the most helpful.
She can do more damage than these weapons.
I would like to point out there are lots of explosives here.
Yeah, that's true.
You tie them to your powers right now.
Well, she'd think about trashing all this, but that might be heard.
Very possibly.
So she'll go to the door that leads back, then, and peek through it.
Things look much the same. Panic's running around, furnace is blaring, shredder's going. Someone seems to have actually brought a small flamethrower and is torching an entire office.
Nice.
For fuck's sake.
That man thinks ahead, promote him.
Well, she's gonna reverse path. Because that's a good idea.
Well, the good news is he's probably not going to unleash the flamethrower into the ammo storage room, but G'ing the F out of here may be a good idea.
Actually, make me a perception.
I have a question. Is Mr. Smith still standing on the part of the roof he punched through?
Unlikely.
Okay.
We will return to Mr. Smith in just a moment.
Yeah, let them say another thing. He is going to actually go and put out the fires, weirdly enough, before he transforms.
The only reason Miss Murphy manages to get away with this is because her specific way of sensing people means she can actually go at a time when nobody is near her door. Otherwise, that stealth roll would not have saved you.
Understand.
Yay.
Are you going back to the decontamination chamber, or are you going to the other door?
Oh, going to the other door.
Okay, make me an athletics check. You get into the door. You manage to not trip over anything. Now we will come back to you in a moment. Mr. Smith!
Since he's still standing on that part, I'm going to drop the force field.
Well, I'm not, though.
Yeah, he said
In order for me to get close enough to, like, swat at your force field, I needed to move. I wasn't going to just stomp on it.
Okay, the next time he goes to swap at it, I'm going to drop it.
Is the fires out, actually?
No, I'm just going to reestablish it once you go through it.
Though actually, at this point, the fires would be mostly out.
Should I walk over and...
Then I'm just gonna drop the one I have now and reestablish a smaller one that just covers the parts that are still burning.
Funnily enough, he walks over to try and put them out himself, what's left, just because he doesn't want to leave. That he was going to just leave it to the fire department, but at this point, he can put
You
it out.
bonk into a wall walking over
Yeah,
there.
that happens, and he gets really confused. Meanders over to where he made a hole, tries to put his foot through. Presumably it goes through.
What are you doing, sorry?
Oh, I'm double checking. He's double checking to make sure that the original barrier is now gone.
Yes.
He throws his hands up in complete bafflement and then just speeds away.
Are you taking the
He
bag?
just kind of goes down to the nearest alleyway closest to where they originally all were.
Are you
Best he
taking
can
the
judge.
bag?
Yes.
When you get down to that alleyway, you can hear Robert's voice from a wall. What on earth are you doing over there?
I turn to the wall because at this point, goddammit.
His
Trying
head
to
is
avoid...
sticking out of the wall.
Is what?
His head is sticking out of the wall.
I officially live in Wonderland. Well, I was doing my part until suddenly the building became encased, and then I moved on, and then I was encased again, and now I'm not, and I have this bag that belonged to the crazed clown.
Alright, let's get you back here. We'll have to find the others. Look up, would you please?
Up I look.
Since I've completely lost track of my team and don't have any communication device, I'm just going to go back to base.
Do you have a way to going to your mansion?
No, I'm just going to flip back to the base.
That's in teleport, yes, okay.
Link. I don't need your stupid eye machine. Today I put out a fire.
When both Roberts and Mrs. Smith are back, so is Joseph. And Roberts looks between the two of you with a very deep frown.
We will make you regret recruiting us.
He already does.
I shrug and just present the bag. I did my part.
And out a firebomb.
Roberts just looks at it. It's a bag. What about it?
It was owned by the enslaved clown being who has the power to draw things from it and interact with it in some way. He threw a firebomb at me, some rocks.
Are you saying he's able to interact with you through this bag at this very moment?
Presumably.
And
Just
you
don't
brought
open
it back here.
You told me to.
You did not tell me he was actively communicating with you through it.
You didn't give me a moment to.
Avery! Are you going to continue looking at papers?
I'm not sure how much I can get away with without someone at the very least assuming that I'm, attempting to violate OPSEC. So, this box in which I saw that memo heading and with the weapon checkout log, it's going into the fire exactly as planned.
Okay.
With that box tossed, before I start running to go get something else to burn, I'm going to take a moment to survey the room and try and make sense of the pandemonium. See if there's any level of organization to it, and if anyone questions me, I'll just say, just looking for where I can be, looking for the next thing to grab.
Well, the people milling about are not organized in any way, shape, or form, just grabbing everything that isn't bolted down and destroying it in one way or another. But you can tell the room itself, for being just a whole bunch of desks and computers and, just office space everywhere, Seems to have been split into thirds, most likely focused on different tasks in each area. You can only tell because there are burned messes that were probably partitions at some point.
Hmm.
You can tell that there are 4 different doors leading off of this area, 2 near the entrance you came in at, one of which is actually still ajar, which is odd because it was not when you came in. And there are 2 at the other side of the room.
Which pair's nearer?
Ignoring that joke, the ones nearer are the ones away from the decontamination room.
Further from the entrance, probably probably higher security. I will go investigate those to see if there's anything that needs burning in there.
Left
Is
or
my
right?
excuse. Left.
Left it is. Miss Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
you're in an office. It looks like an office. I mean, it's got a computer, it's got a desk, it's got a desk plant, it's got a couch. There's a person in here. They are currently behind the desk, not looking in the direction of the door, running something through a shredder frantically.
More importantly, is there a cat as a motivational poster anywhere in here?
No, there are no
Murphy.
posters anywhere.
Well, these have no souls then. Jesus.
Seriously.
I think you already knew that. They probably burned their souls.
Requirement to join. Burn soul in front of a...
How far away is he?
Oh, just a few feet. Like, you could take one step and touch him on the shoulder if you wanted to. He's just very single-minded in his task of, oh god, they're going to find us, burn everything.
Now debating how likely it is for her to kill someone if she does this. Hmm. Nah. Okay, she'll put a gravity field on him to try to slam him down to the ground, basically. If she can paralyze him, then he's just out for the moment.
Okay, what kind of rule is this? Infliction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, resisted with what?
Strength. So how strong is this guy?
Well, he looks like a desk jockey.
Yeah.
What's the DC of this?
Oh god. What is the additional added for afflictions again?
Just 10 for
10 plus
afflictions.
rank.
Okay, my find function isn't working. Thank you.
I'm going to assume it's rank 11 because that's what most of your things are.
I think it is, to be honest, because I'm mostly capping them out because she has no subtlety.
Yep, that's 3 degrees of failure.
Snap goes the spine.
No, that's paralyzed.
He is slammed to the ground and can't move a single inch of him. If you get in front of him, he'll be able to see you, but... You can hear vague moaning sounds and grumbling. Because he can't really move his body enough to talk.
Mm-hmm. So... that's probably a bad idea, but whatever. She's gonna walk over to him and kick him. She tried to knock him out.
Are you going to kick him in the head? Or are you going to...
Yeah, she is.
Okay, make a roll of, physically hitting the guy.
Technically, at this point, it's a routine check.
Yeah, you could roll if you want to crit on it. You'd have to get a 10, and then,
She has a fighting of 0, so that d20 is just, that's her roll.
Okay, you add 5 to your damage. What is your unarmed damage? So basically that's your strength.
Yep, so that's 1.
So DC of 21. He rolled a 4.
Bye.
Yeah, he's out.
Alright, she'll drop the field. And take a look at the papers he's shredding.
No. You need to take a second to feel really cool about yourself.
No,
Use
she's
your
trying
powers
not
and nothing went wrong.
She's trying not to hyperventilate. She's doing.
Aw. You should be proud, though. Use your powers and nothing went wrong and no one's hurt.
Except the guy that got a boot to his head.
Hey, that was the clown. Nothing to do with my powers. Clown powers.
Back to Mr. Smith, Joseph, and Roberts, actually. Roberts eyes the bag.
I don't know how he does it or why. He didn't give me time to explain before having me jump here. Here is the bag. Contain it however it is you want. You wanted it. Here it is.
Right. Roberts takes the bag and just goes to place it over here next to one of the generators.
Because that's safe.
If he gets in here, it doesn't matter how close he is to one of the generators.
Point. You'd think you'd have some sort of containing field or something. You really do have no money or supplies, do you?
We don't have one for a burlap sack on literally 0 notice. We'll have one soon. As soon as I figure out what will be best suited for that. Well, do you know where the other 2 went?
I had hoped they had stayed put, as I asked.
Yes, well, considering the Prejudicio was now acting like a bunch of wasps as someone threw a rock into their hive.
I walked in and got the object. They vaguely noticed my presence, and then from there...
I don't suppose you saw anything of where they went, Mr. Ripken?
I was busy putting out a fire.
The fire?
A fire.
What was on fire?
The roof. The roof was on fire.
That's a joke.
Well, it is out of universe.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know why you would think that's funny.
We need to get communicators.
Well, I know Avery has one, but I don't particularly want to contact him, her, whichever, while they may be surrounded by enemy soldiers.
I meant more for the rest of us, but fair.
Yes, well, working on it, we're scavenging what Prejudicium tech we have.
I don't need a walkie-talkie would do, almost like, or a cell phone.
We need one that will get through the blocking down here.
I did not think communicating with one another down here would be a problem, but if you think so...
I need to speak to you from here.
Can't you just do the face wall trick?
Only when our friend isn't busy.
Fair. Shall I go and look for them?
No, I'm sure we'll find some way. We have people watching the entire area. The moment they step out onto the street again, we'll know where they are. Speaking of, Avery. You have
Howdy.
entered a room.
What's in the room?
It's a server room. It's very cold, even with the things being on fire outside. It seems that people have not gotten in here to start wiping all of this yet.
Well, wiping it physically with hammers, anyway.
Haha.
Okay. So we're talking about about how big a room?
I'd say like your average bedroom size, just most of it filled with computer servers.
So, aisleway racks down both sides, or
Yes.
okay. Probably about four racks wide on each side.
Probably about, yeah.
Okay. These floor-to-ceiling racks?
Yes.
Okay.
But does Avery know anything about computers?
He spends a lot of time around people. He probably knows nearly nothing about computers, but he knows technobabble when it's in front of him. More to the point, even if nothing else, he has he at least has +7 worth of investigation and, well, eidetic memory. In this day and age, he knows what a hard drive looks like. Is there any machines that have a bunch of hard drives in the front?
Yes,
'Cause-
there are. Seem to be 2 per each rack, which comes out to an absurd amount of hard drives.
Yeah, JBods typically are. All right. There's no one in here, you say?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Are there any boxes or anything, or bin or anything that you could put stuff in, carry it?
Down at the far end of the aisle between them, there's like a rolling cart. More like a rolling table, really.
Okay. How big are the pockets on this suit?
Well, you could fit a pistol in them.
Pistol's pretty bulky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am going to go grab that pushcart, start spilling hard drives into from one of the JBods into it to be wheeled out there to be disposed, and sneak one hard drive into a pocket on my way, just at random, having no way to tell the difference. Yeah. Chance there might be something useful on it.
One random person exclaims in joy, "Oh, you remembered the servers, thank you, I had completely forgotten." He promptly grabs one of the hard drives and tosses it into a furnace.
That's what the cart's for.
Miss Murphy,
Yeah?
are you going to actively attempt to read the box of papers he's shredding, or just try to take some?
She's got pockets.
So just going to shove papers into your pockets.
Huh?
Okay.
Is the computer still working that he was nearby?
Well, considering the monitor is over on the other side of the room with a hole in it.
Right, okay. Well, then actually, she'll just pick up that box
Okay.
of papers.
You have picked up a box of papers.
How big was the room outside? With all the people going frantic?
Pretty big. Like, it'd take up an entire floor of a building. Of
Yeah,
a standard office building.
Yeah, from the amount of cubage he was talking about, I'd guess 2,000 to 3,000 square feet of office space.
Right. So yeah, this box is the best she's gonna do. Is there anything else in here that looks like it's worth taking? And yes, I will have an investigation roll.
Well,
Okay.
you could check if the computer has a hard drive in it still.
Sure, why not?
I presume she knows how to open a computer.
There's her tech roll.
There's her
Put
tech
it with,
roll, yep.
Yeah, combine it with her age. And yeah.
Yeah, you can open the computer just fine. There is a hard drive there. You don't know if it, has been hit with a magnet or anything, but it's there.
Yeah. No. Can she actually remove it?
Most cases have snap-in hard drives these days. They don't use screws for most.
This is true. Mine does. I could reach over and pull a drawer and pull out my hard drive. I shouldn't do that though.
Yeah, do it right
Probably not.
now. Nothing bad will happen.
I was able to take out my old portable hard drive and shove it into my computer to save power.
So yeah, she'll add that to the box.
Okay. Are you now going to try and get out?
Pretty much.
Roll me a perception.
Keep in mind passive perception that she's not leaving out yet, but
That she's not what?
she's not dashing without looking, basically.
Yes, and I'm rolling to see how much she can tell, which in this case is a lot. Okay, roll me a stealth.
Tell me
She
what I
can't leave
see.
out of anything if there's not a cake there.
Are you going to actually open the door and look out?
Actually, yeah.
I was
So
thinking what you were sensing.
Ah. Well, does she sense nothing? I mean, that was
No, there are people running around. At the moment, there's nobody actively, between you and that decontamination room.
Okay. Alright. If she fails, she's ready to do something drastic.
You walk out into the hallway and promptly slide on a bit of slick floor and slam into a wall. Somebody does turn to look at you.
Alright.
They haven't reacted just yet. What are you going to do?
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Well, that's relatively easy. Let's do the same thing. Slam that person to the ground.
Okay.
And, unfortunately, anyone around them in a 30-foot radius.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go.
Including anything.
Yep, they fall to the floor. You hear a bunch of other people just stagger. Some other people fall down. You hear a huge crunching sound.
Like wooden crunching or bone crunching?
Wooden crunching.
Okay.
I'd recommend running.
Oh no, she's going.
Roll athletics for me.
She's hoping that distracts them.
Okay, that's some athletics.
She was in track.
Yeah. Avery.
Yo.
There were people yelling, and a desk just exploded over there. Nobody seemed to throw anything at it first. It just exploded.
I look over in that direction. What's going on?
You do catch the tail end of a redhead running through that decontamination room and to the stairs.
I follow the lead of the people around me. Does everyone leap up and try and catch her, or does everyone scatter for the size of the building, size of the room?
Everyone starts running towards that same staircase out, but nobody seems to be doing it with the intention of chasing her. There's one large man who yells out in anger and runs over into the one room nobody's gone into yet.
Okay.
A few seconds later...
hold on just a second. Back in a
Yes?
moment.
Oh, okay. We're just going to wait here a minute because, well, things are moving quickly.
I blow up the lab. I shoot the reactors with magic missiles.
Please don't.
Sorry, just had to get the door behind my wife.
Ah.
Okay, a man goes into that room that no one else has been.
The intercom turns on. With very loud crackling, and you're pretty sure you can hear fire behind it, so that room probably has some kind of fire going on. There's a few coughs, and the man sounds uncertain, umming and erring, like he's never actually had to say this, which he probably hasn't. And then he finally catches his breath and goes, "We're enacting Operation Pyroclasm. Everyone exit the building now."
One red, one white, sorcery, 2 damage to everything.
Lol.
That's not a white, that's a colorless.
I know. Shut up. I screwed up.
Just cast Hurricane.
But that only hits flyers. These guys don't fly.
Nice stream of life for one and Hurricane for
Hurricane's
20.
the one that hits everything.
Well, all players and flying creatures.
In any case, what are you going to do in regards to that, Avery?
I will begin filing out in a panicked manner with everyone else.
Okay, Miss Murphy, there are people coming up the stairs behind you. You're ahead of them by a fair bit, but you can hear them.
Hey, you think she's slowed down? Screw that.
Okay, you come out into
At
the
this point,
alleyway.
she might be flying up the stairs, okay?
Okay, are you going to start flying? Actually, better question. Give me a... Give me an awareness roll.
Rude. Okay, I'll just roll an 18.
Actually, that works out well for you. They know you're there. The Prejudicium does not have a good history of responding well to sudden surprises of things they don't like. You have a feeling it's in your best interest to fly.
Yeah, she's booking it.
When you get out into the alleyway, are you going to fly down the alleyway somewhere or straight up?
Probably actually straight up at first and dipping lower once she's gone a couple blocks.
Okay, you fly straight up. Avery, you were following the panicked mass of people up and down to the building. You all fan out into the alleyway and people start scattering in every direction.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
I assume you also just pick a random direction and run.
Yes, I pick a random direction and run.
Miss Murphy, give me a perception check. You can see what Avery last looked like down in that mass of people.
Well,
Everyone's still running. Everyone's still running at top speed away from the building.
how many of them are running with Avery?
None. Everyone's mostly spreading out.
Then,
Avery,
yeah.
where will you run to?
Well, let's see here. When I hit the alleyway, I went... Does the alley connect to street on both ends?
Yes.
Or was it a dead end? Okay. When I hit the alleyway, I went left. When I hit the street, I went right. I went down to the first light and went left, and then started to slow down, mostly to catch my breath, but trying to continue to fan out because clearly everyone's just headed to bug out.
Miss Murphy, what will you do?
She'll look to cut Avery off in an alley, basically, and like grab him as he goes past.
You can definitely fly quicker than Avery can run, so... Avery, you have been grabbed.
Oh dear. Okay. I don't think that's anywhere near far enough, but okay. Someone grabs me and pulls me into an alley as I pass in front of it?
Yes. You've managed to take 2 of the 3 turns you planned to take.
How many of my fellow evacuees could I still... We're still within forward 180 eye shot at that time?
2 or 3.
Okay, do I recognize who's grabbed me?
Presumably, yes.
I fail to give them a firm chop in the side of the head.
It's Miss Murphy.
Yeah. Girl, we need to get further from ground zero.
Yeah. Haven't tried this, but hold on. Huh?
Hold on to what?
Me.
I put an arm around you.
She's gonna try flying with both of them.
Oh boy.
Superman!
So you're just going to go straight up again?
Not exactly, but I mean,
In
she's
the
going for height and then speed.
You fly upwards. As soon as you're above the tips of the building, both of you make a perception check.
She hasn't activated the shields yet.
Yet. There's suddenly a silence in the air that just that very human sense tells you maybe you should cover your ears.
I've only got one free hand for that.
Well, you could
she
shove
has
your
less.
other ear against
Yeah.
your shoulder.
She's got no way to cover her ears. She's holding a box.
Mm-hmm. Remember that building that secret hideout was underneath?
Oh god.
Whoosh.
There is a very big boom. Back with Joseph, Mr. Smith, and Roberts, the room shakes around them a bit.
Okay, I magic missile the reactor.
Please don't. There's a very bright flash that has both Avery and Ms. Murphy blinking and trying to recover their vision, but they're far enough away it's not going to actually cause problems.
Is there a shockwave?
It
Most-
buffets you in the air a bit.
Most of it probably would have been eaten by the building.
Yes. Considering it started from the basement.
Land.
Can't she even hear him?
No. Ears are still ringing.
Yep. She's probably flying in some direction, but with her hearing off a little bit, there goes her sense of direction a little.
For now, we go back to Joseph, Mr. Smith, and Roberts. The room just shook.
What was that? Looks at Roberts.
I have no idea. Let's see if anyone else knows. He turns on the television again, to the news site, and there's a panicking newscaster on the screen.
I thought I was the subtle one.
There's also a shot of a building that... Well, it's very odd. You can see that a helicopter is just starting to get over to the area. And from the ground level, it looks like someone just took this building and cut off the lower 4 floors of it and then dropped the rest of it down onto the ground again. And from above, there's a giant circular hole in the middle of it.
Interesting.
I suppose that answers your question.
I'm gonna say that it's most likely either caused by or directly or indirectly by our allies.
Speaking
Because
of...
I'm getting the deep impression the young girl has markedly unsubtle powers.
True, but I don't think they involve actual explosions, just things that look like the aftermath of one.
I did say indirectly. She could have shown up and then the folk caused this, the Prodifium or whatever.
She does seem like she could spend a few years at the Mages Guild, yes.
I wish we had one of those. Back to Miss Murphy, you could see a helicopter over there by the building that went boom. Do you want to land?
Yeah, huh?
You land, much to Avery's delight. Do you have any reactions you'd like to expound upon?
We're safely on what kind of ground? Roof or alley or what?
Depends. Did you go for a roof or an alley, Kaylee?
What was I above at the time?
A roof.
Was the roof on fire?
No.
Yeah, the landing in an alley.
You were in an alley.
Priority 1. Is there anyone in this alley other than us?
Not at the moment. There's some cardboard boxes that look like a place someone could sleep in that might imply there's some people there.
In that case, I collapse in momentary relief. Okay. Not the way I wanted to be extracted today.
What?
Oh. It'll come back.
The ringing
Busy
is starting
shaking
to
her
fade.
head.
Is she saying mop?
No. That comes later after she actually has tinnitus.
Back with Mr. Smith and Joseph and everyone. Roberts looks off to the side and brings his walkie-talkie up again. Alright, we've spotted the other two.
Alive, intact, and all well.
One moment. He looks up, and you get to see what this looks like from the outside for the time, in that he sort of just disappears from the head down in a quick moving wave.
So that's how that works.
Actually, I'm gonna retroactively flavor mine purple cloud and a pop sound.
Okay.
Was it like cherry flavored pop or?
Just like a pop.
Obviously grape, he said it was purple.
Oh yeah, great flavor.
Yes.
Miss Murphy, Avery. Roberts appears in the alley in front of you.
Kill it!
He looks very tired.
Well, good to know that that's going around.
Should I even ask?
Yeah. Found one of Prejudicium's hideouts. They were kind enough to blow it up for us. By the way, can you do anything with this? Takes out my hard drive, tosses it in the same box as hers.
He blinks a few times. Probably. Just look up, would you? We need a more secure place to talk about this.
Gladly.
Flops onto my back, looking up at the sky.
Not quite the way I meant, but that works too. And bloop.
Oh, they're back. How'd it go?
While one of them begins to explain, Roberts will go over and take both hard drives off the top of that box and go over to the computer.
Kaylee will actually sit down cross-legged with the box and start looking at papers because might as well find out what the hell she found.
What is all of that?
Oh, that's the incriminating evidence.
Does
I
that have
don't
anything to
know
do
what
with why on the news there's a building with a hole in it?
That was not us. We walked into it, we walked out of it, but that was not us.
Look, one of them saw me. I had to. It wasn't me that did that, though. Okay.
Hold a band. I believe you. I've entered many buildings that ended up ruined and had nothing to do with myself.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Robert
I enter a building,
snorts.
I'm recognized, they pull out rocket launchers. What am I supposed to do?
Oh yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the store to buy some bread and the building just blows up.
Why would you buy bread?
For the same reason you'd buy beef.
Oh, is that what he eats? I didn't know. Pass me the papers you're not looking at. I might as well go through it quicker this way.
It's going to take some time to quarantine these hard drives, make sure we don't get anything odd off of them, but...
Yeah, where'd you get yours, by the way? Okay.
Oh, there was an office to the right when we came in. It was opposite their armory, but didn't have much use for any of that.
Right. Mine's from a server room, if that matters.
Well, you
Yeah,
just
that
gone
does
into
make a bit of a
something.
difference.
But yeah, I just, let my feet do the walking and happened to walk into one of their hideouts.
Surprisingly well done.
Helped out with their evacuation a little. Might be less evidence than we would like, but hey, it works.
Some
Okay.
of the papers you're reading, most of them are completely boring. Interdepartmental memos that talk about, for example, who's going to be on this new project, the project that they don't talk about it at all, and it's just random names. Most of them just seem completely innocent. Besides the fact that it's all bureaucracy.
I am going to shuffle through the papers that, well, obviously Kaylee is not, just to speed through it, and he is looking for keywords that he would recognize. I.e., just, well, his.
Yeah. Oh, Roberts.
Nah?
You got a pinboard wall where you keep all the important names of stuff or anything? Or is that all on that big screen too?
Don't really use the push boards anymore, but yeah.
I got some names that you might be interested in. And I rattle off that list of memorized acronyms, and then capstone it all with Task Force Cavorite.
Roberts frowns at a few of the acronyms and brings something up on screen that has a list of what seems like a partial list of those acronyms. We know some of those already. At the moment, he has exactly 4 of those acronyms up on the board. They are QRS, SOS, COS, and CS.
Let's see here.
And you say they mean things?
Quality, relative, sciences, save our souls, cause of suffocation, and cesium.
Is it like customer service, maybe? I don't think they have that.
No,
but...
this is related to their military operations. He points to each one in turn. Their quick response squad, their standard operating squad, their covert operating squad, and their cleansing squad.
So why don't they just call the last one bombs? Or the people who carry the bombs.
He then goes to add the new acronyms that were on that list, which are ERS, HMS, and MRS. I have no idea what these mean.
Mrs.?
I'm going to
MRS.
presume they don't mean it in that way.
My raging shitstorm?
Well, they all have RSs in them, so once you figure that part out.
Yeah, except Her Majesty's ship there. I don't know.
And you said Task Force Cavorite?
Yeah, unobfuscated.
As usual, overcomplicated wheels within wheels, a system built by humans. No offense.
Cavorite rings a bell, but I don't remember. Does anyone know anything about something called Cavorite?
Fish eggs? Fish eggs aren't particularly good.
H.G. Wells novels?
Caviar is fish eggs. And is that
Oh.
Cavorite?
No, caviar is fish eggs, and yes,
No, the H.G. Wells.
Yeah. It's a sheet of metal. You put it under your butt, you float up. It's been a long time since I read it.
Roberts blinks a few times and then looks at Miss Murphy.
What?
They have a task force named after something that lets you defy gravity.
Oh.
What? Just for me?
I don't get it.
You're not worth... And perhaps you're not new, or perhaps you are new to this, but having an entire... I'm going to say police force, as that's the closest equation I can think of, after you, and specifically you, designed to take after you and eliminate or capture you, is a very common response.
I think you're overextending there, Rex, but yeah, well, they were destroying documents of all kinds in there, and well, that's all I could sneak out with between my in my pockets and between my own ears. Speaking of those ears, I just gave this woman's ankle a real workout. I need to go lie down.
Do you need to be carried? That's a negative.
You found more than anyone's found in the past month, so feel free
You're
to take a
welcome.
rest. Miss Murphy, in those papers, you do find what looks like the schematic to a certain type of weapon.
Is it the Death Star?
Please.
No,
That's
you have
not
not
a
found the
moon.
Death Star plans.
Damn it!
No, this is actually a moon.
It looks like a cannon that you'd build into somebody's arm.
Ah, so they're gonna build Mega Man.
I'm just gonna ignore that. That's awful.
Are you going to bring up the schematic?
Maybe. So, I think... have you seen this weapon? Have they used this?
Roberts
She holds
comes
up the
over to
papers.
look. Nope, that is a new one to me. Even if they put this in someone, the recoil alone would snap their spine.
Weapon, might I say?
No, it's not Mega Man.
Lol. Well, what weapon? Mr. Smith basically coming over to take a look. So, what did you describe it as?
It's a cannon built into someone's arm.
Well,
I would not see how a normal human would use it at all.
When you say cannon, are you talking ship's cannon or anti-materiel rifle or?
I mean, it has a hole about the size of like a pectoral muscle.
So it's the bad guy from Mankind Divided.
Bigger than that.
So we should be picturing the muzzle of a grenade launcher.
A bit wider, but sure.
whoever
okay.
wears this, do they yell stars constantly?
Not getting that one.
Nemesis. Resident Evil 3.
Ah.
He's M. Bison.
regardless, if we're here, what makes you think a regular quote unquote human would be wearing this?
Further, they appear to have power suit capabilities, those things they wear, which says they can't create one with enough force to withstand this sort of nonsense. This isn't the first stupid idea humans have created in an attempt to protect themselves or pursue something,
In any case, those of you who need a break, go take it.
I do need to clear my house out, yes.
Yes, because lizard man societies are all so pure.
There are lizard man societies?
Yes, and most of them are complete hellholes.
By the way,
I'm not a lizard.
did any of those team stroke project names ring a bell to my current
As things
inhabitant?
she had seen before, yes, but not much other than that.
Okay. I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna take a standard action and connect with the other bards on this one.
On which one?
Yeah, it's how my bardic knowledge ability works. I'm going to. If I take a standard action, I get an expertise check with a plus 21 rank in it.
Yes, what are you rolling it on?
Any of the acronyms.
The acronyms? Okay.
Yep. Basically, the way that works in universe is I connect if any bards on this plane know about it, I can learn it through them using this power.
What definition of bard are you using here?
Anybody else who has the bardic knowledge power.
Which would be nobody on this plane.
No, other humans could.
I suppose, yeah.
Reach out to the untapped potential of storytellers across the globe, and
pretty much, yeah.
Storytellers, musicians, some artists.
Yeah, that's not a magic ability. That's something anybody can be born with, but you have to hone it to use it the way I do.
There's nobody that knows quite exactly what those acronyms mean, but
there's like 13 bands with them in the name.
Well, yes, but you do get the idea that this is a bureaucracy, this organization. So if you could find out what organizes the first squads, you could find out what organizes the last ones. For example, what is in a QRS, Quick Response Squad?
Suggestion for treatment of this power? Treat it as an investigation check, probably of bonus equal to like the rank of the effect or double rank of the effect or something like that. For gather information. Since like just as a suggestion, like since you're trying to flavor it as finding out what others would know about these same things and pull it into yourself, as opposed to just innately having expertise yourself.
That would require me completely rewriting the power.
In any case, that's what you get right now.
Yeah, that's just how I'm flavoring it. What it actually is mechanically is a enhanced intellect limited to expertise skills.
Oh, okay. All right.
You believe that you could figure some things out if you knew exactly how the other squads were organized, which you haven't asked about, so...
I think that's meaning you should ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask about that. Also, this power is very noticeable when I'm using it. So.
Does your head glow?
Ooh, do you get a light bulb on it afterward?
Yeah, my eyes glow, and you can see words scrolling inside of them really fast if you're watching them.
So he is a robot.
I think actually we'll address that on the forums. You rolled completely average.
Woohoo!
But yes, I will have some answers for that on the forums.
Awesome. That's an ability I always forget I have, so yay.
Yes, you should remember it exists.
I can break so many things with it.
And on that note, I think it's time to stop for now. Considering it
Alrighty.
is 6 o'clock.
Yep. So, what did we learn today, kids?
Run away
Try.
from anything named pyroclasm.
Bubbles
Try
are
and
fun.
invest in walkie-talkies.
Oh, and I made my house very nice now.
Hooray!
I used my one PowerPoint to get my house to its final point.
Warp, what lesson did you learn today?
Nothing.
Didn't learn shit.
And I
Learned
learned
that Avery
that
really wants to fly a lot,
No.
which is funny for a ghost.
Yeah, well, that's under my own damn power.
Look, it only constantly feels like you're falling in the direction she's moving.
That probably has something to do with it.
Yeah, it's not Superman flight. She's literally using gravity to pull people where she needs to go.
And Avery learned that these boots are for walking wherever they want to go. All right.